You mentioned that we are better off fighting this lighter war now than to wait for a full-blown war when the Fulanis will be at our doorsteps, because they are coming. It's just a matter of time. While you're there shouting, all I want is Biafra restoration, they will come there and shoot you in your mouth. So we are telling you this is an amendable way that we can get ourselves out of this mess. Taking down the Constitution, all those criminal politicians parading as if they represent us, that we need to say no more. We do not want to partake in this Constitution anymore. We do not want to partake in this fraudulent country, for God's sake, a country that kills their own citizens, that you will shoot on armed citizens, children playing ball in a soccer or having meeting or whatever, like Barrister Tony said, demonstrating how they feel about the injustice going on. And your response to them is to shoot them. And we're telling you, we don't have any more time to waste, that we can actually have a nation by next week, depending on what we want, on how we want to address these issues. And we're telling you, this is the master key to all our problems. This is the master key to say, you no longer have the power over me. This is the master key that says, you will no longer shoot me when I come out for demonstration. This is the master key that says, when you graduate from college, you will get a job. This is the master key that says, I will no longer drown in the Mediterranean Sea. And people think we are here to be emotional and be yelling on the radio with no plans. This is what makes sense, children, because a lot of you guys are still children. It's only in Africa that you see a 70-year-old answering youth. They are answering youth because they have not enjoyed their youth, so they are still waiting, even though they are 70, so they are still youth. Please grow up.
You have to be 60 years to be youth leader in any political party in Nigeria. PDP, APC, they are youth leaders.
Wow.
60 years. The ones who contest election over 70.
It's heartbreaking, people. It's heartbreaking. You know, our young ones that are supposed to be up against arm with all these things going on, they are busy flowing some distraction somewhere that is not leading them anywhere, that is giving them empty promises. And we're saying this is the way to stop this madness. We don't want you to get shot anymore because you're demonstrating or you're having a meeting or you're playing soccer. We don't want all of that, especially you guys. You don't know what it takes to give birth. We don't want to be seeing the blood of our children on the street of our land. We have to do this thing right. Please understand what he's saying. Let's stop the name calling, the animosity to think is all about you. It's not all about you. We want this hell to come to an end. It's not fair. It's not fair. So this is a no-brainer. That if we take down this constitution that's been holding us down, that is giving these people the right to come at your doorstep, that can stop your business at any time, that can come and close your bank, that can do all these things. And then we allow the few Igbo and all these Eastern region people that are making money off of our misery. And we are waiting for them to come give us a bag of rice during Christmas season. And maybe with a granite oil, right? And a tomato paste. So each time you allow them to do this, their children are overseas living fine. They have houses in New York. They have one in Houston. They have one everywhere else. And you are suffering. And you are suffering. We're saying power belongs to you. Receive sense. Understand what is, what we are trying to do here. Understand what LNC and Eminent Alliance are doing. Thank God for our brothers and sisters in Yoruba land. They got it. They are not here shouting on the radio. Neither are they here going back and forth calling names. They are doing what works. They have the professors and all the educated people that is all about their interests. While our own is about their interests, their own personal interests. And we're talking about communal health, well-being, communal growth, everything, so that I'm not the only king in our land. That is so going to be, everybody should be a king. I shouldn't be the person that lives in the mansion with a fence and my neighbor cannot even afford a meal. Please, let's get these things right, my people. So you heard what he said, that if we get our representative to get out of that place, that's number one thing that we need to do, that we're not, they shouldn't represent us anymore. So however way we can send these messages loud and clear to all these people benefiting from our miseries, and then they come and massage our what should I call it? Our hurt.
If they participate, if the representatives and senators from any part of southern Nigeria and Middle Belt participate in this amendment they're talking about, such persons, such senators, such House members are holding themselves out as leading the onslaught against their people, whether they're in the Middle Belt being killed or they're in Yoruba land being molested. Those ones who participate and the ones who want to go to election in 2023, let's remove our eyes from all the other subsidiary elections. 2023, we have to stop them from starting. Voting stage is the last stage. You can't do anything about it anymore. Those who will be coming to do all the processes before the voting stage. That is what our target should be. Political party, get away from our neighborhood. We don't want to see you until we settle how we live in this union. That is the task.
Thank you. So it's time to, we have posted our Zoom meeting ID. So if you want to log in and ask, we take, Barrister Tony will take a few phone calls because he's busy. He's busy doing what he can for us. So if you would like to come in, I saw some people waiting earlier, they are gone. So if you would like him to come in and ask a few questions before he goes so that we can, let him go because he needs to go. He's needed out there. He's coming to share with us today so that we can understand that this whole thing is about, today is August the 29th. So that when things start moving around and things start happening, you will not understand where he's coming from. Somebody has been doing the work. So if you would like to ask him a question before he goes, this is a good time. If not, we'll let him go and then we can take the questions later on. I'm not sure if we have people waiting. So you have our meeting ID number. It's posted there. It is 987-346-0692 and the password is 003282. So please go ahead and log in and we'll take you from there. We used to take phone calls until we realized that most of the people are psychotic, they are not here. And please focus your contribution to our today's topic. So most people are not here to talk about what we're talking about. They're here to worship their supreme leader, which our nation is more than one man. Our children are dying. We are not interested in your supremacy. We are not interested in what we want is results. We've looked at all the options as mothers. We've looked at all the options and what LNC and MNN Alliance is doing is what makes sense because every little thing, the world will tag you terrorists, before you know it. So you have to follow the rules of the law, and it's there for us. So he mentioned that this is the time for us to activate our right, our sovereignty. So, and it's there in the UN. So if we follow the legal process, which is the process that he's talking about, nobody will sit around and watch things happen to you because you're following the legal process, So this is the time to come and ask your questions before he takes off. He's quite a busy man. And Barrister, we thank you so much for coming out this morning to once again tell our people what is at stake. You have a choice. You have a choice. This is an impending doom. You have a choice to do the right thing now or get ready to start digging your grave in your backyard so you can get the size that you want. Those are the two options left. So there is no other thing to do now than to begin to do those things that he's talking about. We are tired of this. We are tired of our brothers and sisters dying every day. We are tired of our children being shot like goat meat. They don't even kill goat like that. We are tired of the blood of our people all over the land. We're tired of foreigners coming over and ruling us as if we are nobody and they are born to rule. We're tired of our men sitting around and allowing them to sign everything into their territory. As we are talking right now, they are building pipelines, more pipelines to their areas when we don't have a job in our areas. Where are the men? Where are the so-called men of the land? Here is your brother doing something that can liberate us from this hell, because this is more than hell. And all he's getting is people getting ready to win an election. This is not about you. And by the way, when we do get what we want, you can run for the election, but let's run the election on a constitution that is favorable to the citizens. All right, so nobody's coming in. Mazi, we thank you much. We know you have to go.
Yeah, thank you.
Next time, okay?
Right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
So I'll log out now, right, thank you.
Yeah, Paul Mars. Oh, now two people are coming, but you can go. I know you're busy. We can address the issue.
If they come in while I'm still here, I still have some 5 minutes too. If anybody comes through.
That's fine. Somebody, I have 3 people actually, so there are 3 people
All
waiting.
right.
Get them in quickly. Please mute your phone as you're logging in. Mute your phone so that it doesn't bring in your background noise. Let's be stable.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Raymond, Raymond, go ahead.
I pronounce where Gede. Son of Gede. Good.
Have his photo. We are not seeing his photo.
Yeah, Raymond, please turn on your video. Okay. Unmute yourself. I sort of muted you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Mine is a kind of appreciation to our dogged brother Tony Nnadi. I just want to thank you for what you've been doing, and I encourage you. The fight is not an easy one. Nigeria is a complicated contraption, or I don't know what to call, okay, country. So for you to be speaking out and trying to convince the difficult people who don't even want to listen to reason, who only wants, let's do it, even without any plan to do it. So I just want to say thank you. I'm still hoping that this constitutional force majeure will come as soon as possible. In fact, I can't wait to see it happen. And I also thank the Daughters of Truth for bringing our brother Tony. So thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have Michael Osiforin. Michael, I'm just going to call you by your first name so I don't massacre your last name. Okay, Michael, go ahead. Turn on your video and your mic. Michael? Michael? Okay, I don't know if he's struggling. What about Udu Ogo? Wanyenya.
Hello. This name is so. Good morning, my sister.
Good morning.
And yeah, I said good morning, good afternoon. I mean, Ballista, I'm greeting too. Thank you so much for your what you have done. You have been doing good job. I've been monitoring everything that is going on. I know that you are doing good job. But there's something that is stopping me. There's something that is stopping me. For example, if all this plan work, what of APC? No, APC have their own people, PDP have their own people, and the ordinary people have their own people like us that are going to vote. What of we decide that we are not going to vote, and those APC members try to go and vote? What will happen? Because what the government will look upon is those people that is voting. Maybe those touts in APC or tout in APC, they are like 100 people. They go and
we've heard you. We've heard you. We've heard you.
We've heard you. Yeah.
You are discussing boycott. What you are discussing now is election is today. Out of 1,000 people, 10 people say they won't vote, or 50 people say they won't vote. That's what you are discussing. That's boycott. Election we're talking about is 2023. The action we are talking about should happen inside 2020. The moment we roll out this force majeure, the moment this force majeure is activated, all of those who are suffering, who are rejecting this union for whatever reason, who are rejecting their conditions in this union for whatever reason, it is at that point that they will go and remove the political parties from their neighborhoods.
Okay.
So that it becomes clear to all of them. Everybody doing political party is the one preparing to go to election in 2023. If you remove them from going to organize themselves until election come to meet all of you, you are the one who have authorized your own damnation. If you go to remove them because there's no other purpose they are there for than to contest election and win power and steal money. So you said to them in 2020, from the point this force majeure, because the force majeure is to declare a constitutional emergency that we have not agreed So those people who are planning to contest the election in 2023 under that constitution is the enemy we're looking for.
Okay.
All of those who are being killed, all of those who are being, expropriated in one form or the other, it is inside this 2020 that we have to go and remove all of the party paraphernalia. Anybody doing political party is the AK-47 that you are seeing. Why do you think they use guns on the day of election? So it is not boycott we're talking about. Election is a process. It starts from registration of voter, delineation of this, all kinds of processes continue to happen. Then they go to candidates and primaries and all kinds of things. If you wait until that time, they will go, and even if it's 10 people that voted, they will announce a result, and that's it. What we're inviting our people into is to stop the political parties from even getting ready for any election. By going to stop them, say, remove your party paraphernalia from our neighborhood. That's all that you are supposed if you do that, it becomes clear to them that the election will not happen in 2023 because they can't come anywhere to say, come and join us at ward level. Come and join us in zonal meeting. Political party color is the gun that they are putting together to come to kill you. Remove them. Because the constitution by which the winner will govern is what we are rejecting. We are not talking about the candidate that is tall or short. We're talking about the constitution by which the winner will govern has been rejected. It is that constitution that tie your land into their union. It is that constitution that declare Igbo land as part of Nigeria. If that constitution goes down, the union is at an end that day. What are we to do to take the constitution down? Remove the political party from your neighborhood. Countrywide, remove them from Yoruba land, except you are planning to retain the constitution. Remove them from everywhere, except you are planning to retain the constitution. But let that be within the context of the guidelines that will come from the constitutional force majeure that will be activated, which is why we are pleading with our people to listen now. If they do not listen, they will have to contend with AK-47. If they listen, their trauma will be brought to an end, the union will be wound down, and people will go to referendum. What they decide in referendum is entirely up to them. But they will go to referendum from the point the constitution is taken down. And all of that can happen from the point the constitution is taken down. And we're telling them the simple thing to do to take the constitution down. Reject the political parties and the appropriators in your neighborhood. Throughout the South, throughout the Middle Belt, because the people who are killing you are riding on the back of that constitution. And the sustenance of the life of that constitution is that another election will come and another one will come. They've been doing this since 1999. If our people had listened to us before now, we will have finished this business. But they were not listening. And they were just dancing around the circle without knowing what the problem is. We've explained to them now, and the simple thing to do to end the trauma. That's why the National Assembly is jumping out to say, okay, come, we hear you. Let us now come and do it. We are saying to them, we've been saying to them, their legislative mandate does not include constitution making. That constitution, we are saying it has to go down because we have not made any. We've not made any constitution. The document they're carrying about is not of interest to us. And it is that forgery that is holding you as part of the union. Is that forgery that has brought the gun that is shooting at you where you are? Is that forgery that is responsible for all the things you are complaining about? Let us forget all the other things. Those who are seeking restructuring, those who are seeking Biafra, those who are seeking Oduduwa. It is that constitution that is standing between you and all of what you seek. Can't we all join hands now and take down that constitution by rejecting to do further business under it? Is it not simple enough?
Yeah.
It is.
Then we'll go to a referendum.
Thank you. Thank you. We've answered that question. Let's talk to Michael. Michael, please go ahead, and we'll try to be concise with the response so we can move on to the next person. Michael, go ahead and unmute yourself.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Barrister Tony and Nnadi.
Yes.
My name is Michael Oshifodunri, calling from VA, USA. So I joined this conversation very late. Just woke up. I'm sorry. But I've been tracking you guys. I've been tracking all you've been doing all this while, and I want to commend you all for a good job. I do have a question though. You've been talking about AK-47 and all that. You know, we know. Yes. You know, we know the pranks these people are playing. You know, but how do, in a layman's view, how do you self-defend yourself in that territory? You know, how do you self-defend yourself? That's my question.
Yeah, the matter is straightforward. From the day, what this constitutional force majeure will do, it raises a sovereignty question. Sovereignty question. That is to say, all those rules that forbid you from touching gun now, the arms and ammunition is on the exclusive list of that constitution. Only the federal government can hold it right now. If we do this, if we activate this constitutional force majeure in 1 week's time, from that day, that rule is in question, is actually rolled apart, is rolled aside. And so, if anybody is in your space carrying gun, the union that brings him to your space is in dispute. Today, if they find you with gun, they can shoot you aside and nothing will happen. From the day we take this action, if they find you with gun, anything they try to do will not be within the context of Nigeria. Anything you do to defend yourself from them, including if they have guns and you can find gun, that is what it will be, because the union document that criminalize you for having gun is now put aside. That is what this action is all about.
Right.
From that point on, does Yoruba not have a Amotekun now? Has the heavens fallen in Yoruba land because gun is in their hand? Can anybody come and ride roughshod over them today? The rest of the union, the rest of the South and Middle Belt are at various stages of the same process, because nobody is going to sit and be killed by people who are determined to kill them.
Wow.
It is the constitution that is still causing that confusion now. And we can terminate that rule. We can terminate that instrument that makes it possible for them to shoot you aside. That's what this constitutional force majeure will do. Of course, if they want to make it a rifle show, then they will count their numbers.
Mazi, I've been practicing. I have my own AK-47.
They won't even dare that. They are not in a position to dare that. Who are they going to take on the whole of the South and Middle Belt?
So we, Michael, I also want to add, as a mother, for young mothers, especially the widows that don't have anyone to help them, I always tell them to have boiling hot water or boiling oil on the, as soon as they come in, you just give it to them. So
pepper spray is the most that they can have.
Whatever you can do. Thank you, Michael. Mazi Clifford, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Each time I come here, I try to make Queen jealous to let her know that we are three here and she's the only person over there. I greet everybody. My name is Clifford Chukwemeka Iraya, and I reside here in Houston. I must say, I have a question, two questions for Tony, but before I go there, let me just make a quick observation. And I need to congratulate the three ladies that today have been very exceptional in the sense that so far, and that it ends that way, we have been very much on topic, and people who have been calling in have been asking questions that are, related to the topic of the day. We have not seen a situation where the discussion has degenerated to one individual versus another individual, or one organization versus another organization, and I'm very, very happy, and I'm hoping that will continue. And if there's any deviation from that, I fully trust in your capability to do the needful. Now, a question I have for Tony, two questions. Tony, please, can you let the whole world know about these two things that have always been associated with the Lower Niger Congress, the MNN, and even with Tony Nnadi as a person? And what are those two things? And that's where the questions lie. Is Tony Nnadi, MNN, LNC, are they fighting for a new Nigeria? That's question number one. Question number two, is Tony Nnadi, LNC, MNN, is their primary objective is amendment of the Nigerian Constitution, because these are the two areas or two things that have been out there in the open, that Tony Nnadi and co are fighting for new Nigeria. Tony Nnadi and co are fighting for amendment of the Constitution. So Tony, please, if you can answer these two questions for us, we will be very grateful. Please, as clearly and unmistaken as you can, please, and very direct. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. The movement for New Nigeria is actually a movement for no Nigeria. This is the map of that new Nigeria, in case anybody. Does this look like one Nigeria to anybody?
Nope.
The green part is the part that has embraced Sharia, so we say they have seceded from the Union. The blue part is the Yoruba land that has gone to the UN now, within the context of that MNN alliance. The brown part is the lower Niger that is working its way. The middle belt is the purple, also heading to the UN as we speak, because the constitution that brought us together is being taken down. It's gone, it's no more. And so the movement for New Nigeria is actually a name we had to adopt, but we defined from the time we adopted it, the map of that New Nigeria. But in effect, it's a movement for no Nigeria, because our compatriots in the Union had moved away from the basic agreement that brought us together. We wanted to be a secular union, they embraced Sharia. We wanted to be a federation, they truncated it, we have unitarism. We wanted to be a union of equal partnership, they put us union of master and servant, in which some are born to rule others. And now we wanted from beginning a union in which lives will be held sacrosanct, sanctity of human life. They embrace a civilization now that they require them to kill the rest of us as infidels. So they frustrated the contract of the union, that's the constitution that brought us together in Lancaster House. And so the movement for New Nigeria was to put in place a process to dismantle the old order and come to us where we go to referendum to decide what people will do in these formations. So that is what the MNN is all about, movement for no Nigeria. Since Nigeria, we agreed, has been truncated and replaced by another Nigeria that we did not agree. The Nigeria, the Federation, we have no quarrel with that one. But Nigeria, the unitary, is the one we are rejecting. And there's the constitution by which it is being operated. The matter of what we are doing with the constitution is not amendment. We never talked about amendment. Nobody can find anywhere the LNC or any MNN have been alliance partner have been talked about amendment. No, it is the mischief of those who want to present it like that to their own people that brought about that storyline. The LNC set out from the first day to take down the 1999 Constitution, together with all the other people who are suffering under that 1999 Constitution. That's what the alliance actually came together to do, to take down the 1999 Constitution that now make us a unitary union of debt. And so it is not amendment we're talking about. We've never talked about amendment. That's why we say the thing we're talking about is not the business for National Assembly, because that's where you now begin to talk about amendment. We're talking about taking down, we've always talked about taking down the 1999 Constitution, and that is the detail we're supplying you now. People have been asking, how will it be done? How will it be done? We're telling you exactly how it will be done now, that the elections we target is the one of 2023 national election. And it is not a matter for boycott. We're saying the political parties that will contest that election, to the extent that they will govern with that constitution if they win, we are saying we will not allow them to take us on the journey to another election. And we insist that we must now go to a transition like South Africa did in 1990 at this stage. All of that should happen inside 2020, so that by the close of business in 2020, it will become clear to the whole world that no further election will be tolerated under that constitution going forward. So that what the discussion will now be is, what do we now do that the constitution is down? It's only referendums that will recommit us to the union before anybody will begin to talk about the constitution for the federation. The constitutions of the units, these units you are seeing, the one doing Sharia have already settled their own self with Sharia. These three in blue, in brown, and in purple are making their constitutions, finalizing their constitutions as we speak. It is those constitutions that will now come to be holding any meeting in the future after their people commit to go back to any union. But if the referendum proves otherwise, they will be countries of their own. But let it be a product of referendum. Otherwise, it can easily become a matter of boxing and wrestling. That's what we've been trying to avoid. But when that constitution goes down, the old union is at an end. And it is in this formation that people will be going to a referendum, minus the ones who have already left. The ones doing Sharia here, they've left. These other three will be going to a referendum to decide whether or not they want to return to any union. If they say they don't want any further union with anybody, they will be countries of their own. The Lower Niger, the Yoruba bloc, and the Middle Belt. As I speak with you, their documents are already at the UN. Let nobody make any mistakes about that. We only now want to put a time frame within which this constitution can no longer be basis of the union. And all of what it contains, including the matter of who can carry gun, including the matter of who owns the land. There's a video, there are two videos I will ask our people to look out for on YouTube. One is called Who Owns Papa's Land? If you go to that video today and watch it to the end, you will understand exactly what we say should be done and how it will be done. That video has been out there for about 10 years. And now there's a second one, Unraveling the Foundations of the Caliphate Prison. That's also another title you can search on YouTube. Between those two videos, you won't ask any other question if you watch any one of them to conclusion. You will see what the problem is, you will see what the solution is, so you can understand the operationalization of that solution. That's where we are now. It looked like theory to everybody all the while, but they forgot that Pronaco was not theory. They forgot that the solemn assemblies were not theories. They forgot that the intensive engagements we had with Washington last year were not theories. They forget that all of those who are carrying arms in all the parts, in the south, to the east and to the west, and even the Middle Belt, all of those who were carrying arms to reject what Nigeria was doing in their place, the fact that we could bring them, we could attract them to come to submit themselves to this process is still looking like theory to all of you. The fact that we could have the whole of the country organized on one side against the ones who are committing, who are killing other people. Can anybody see what the LNC has been able to do? And if you think it happened by accident, then we'll remind you that it didn't happen overnight, that in 1967, when the matter became an issue for going to fight a war, this was what we had. The party in white is the Biafra that was encircled by an alliance of the rest of Nigeria. What the LNC has done is to take us from being that tiny part into being the majority, as we see here. That is what took 21 years to do. And the part that is doing Sharia is now minority. They brought ISIS to help themselves. At the time the US is at war with ISIS, they will have to account for what they are doing with ISIS. El Rufai is there boasting that he went to give people money in 14 different countries. People who are coming to kill people in Nigeria. The